Okay, doing a quick video on doing the 2-inch lift on a 2010 Ford E350. Didn't find a lot of information on the internet, and so I figured I'd do a video, make it a little easier. Okay. Just a 2-inch aluminum spacer, new 3/4 by 10 hardened bolts. Went with the Bilstein shocks out of preference because the factory ones are too short. But just take the sway bar off, jack it up, set it up on its frame, drop the front end out, and you're able to get the springs out and the spacers in without using any coil spring compressors. Now on the original, this bolt here, along with that cap, was coming down in from the top. The other one comes in from the bottom. Put your new bolt through, put a hardened washer on, put the nut on, put the stud extender on, put your 2-inch lift on. Then I use the original cap nuts that were on here to lock the spacer down. When you do get done, you're going to find that your camber's way off. These factory cams are fixed position unless you want to grind it off, and even if you grind it, you're not going to have quite enough adjustment to get the camber back, and absolutely no caster. So I just went to the hardware store, parts store, got these 2.5 degree caster camber pills. This was the factory shock. After you put the 2-inch spacer on, the factory shock is maxed out to the top. If you compress the coil spring, it'll come back and it'll bottom out on the top end. The aftermarket shocks at work, Bilstein, this number here, or if you want, you can go with a Rancho RS 5136. I've had bad experience with Rancho, so I figured I'd give Bilstein a try this time. Up to you if you want to save 20 bucks. The other thing while assembling, walk in here. Loctite on the bolt coming through the radius arm and the control arm up front. On that first nut I tightened down to lock all the main big components together. Use a 648 Loctite. This stuff is crazy strong. It takes like 500 degrees to break it down. Has enough tensile strength it'll rip aluminum. For the upper stud extender bolt, use just a standard Permatex blue. Inside the new cams I put in, on this inside edge here, I used a little bit of copper anti-seize. Those things definitely want to do, that way stuff doesn't vibrate loose.